Hello and welcome to the Witch Source. I'm your host Whitney, and today I have a special guest that you guys have not yet met, but you need to meet. This is my sister Courtney.
Hi.
And she's also a witch, all in her own right, and she does her own thing, some of which you'll hear a little bit about today.
Totally my own thing.
Yes, very much your own thing. So we were texting the other day, and we're both in the same witch group, but we're not going to go into all that. But anyway, so she sends me a screenshot, and she's like, look, it's another me. And so this woman had gotten on there, and she made a post about how she had been mentoring this new witch, and how she was completely freaking out because this witch was totally and completely working on intuition alone. So she wasn't looking up any of the properties of the things that she was using when she's creating her spells, and just throwing stuff together and going for it, whatever, anything, everything, you name it, she was just going for it magically. And this one was completely freaking out because she's like, I just finally told her I couldn't support her anymore because I just don't agree with the fact that she's just throwing stuff together. She's not checking properties. She's
not doing the research.
Right, not doing the research, not checking the intentions. And, you know, she also felt like she wasn't really clearly thinking out the cause and effect that was being created. And so it was funny because she sent me a screenshot, and I'm over here on the screenshot trying to hit on the comments to read.
I just pulled up the post, and I'm like, I was going to say it was hilarious because you were trying to pull up the comments to read the comments.
I was trying to read the comments, so I text her back, and I sent the laughing face, and I'm like, I'm over here trying to read the comments on a picture. It's not working. To which you said
that they pretty much told the original post to, sit down and be quiet. Because more than likely, she's probably a natural witch and doing her own thing. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But that led to a deeper conversation between us.
Right. Because you were like, oh, that's totally me. And I'm over here like, I totally agree with the woman writing the post. And I'm like internally freaking out also. Like, what are you doing? You don't even know what you're creating. So that's what we're going to talk about. The differences between how we work. But yeah, we still do work very well together as well when we do craft together.
You spot check me.
I do.
Because somebody wanted a spell from me the other day, and it just dropped in, and I can't even remember what it was that I said.
It was like a whole mix of stuff. You're just throwing stuff at me.
Well, no, there was one particular one.
Coriander.
Coriander.
Coriander, yeah.
Yeah. I said, you need coriander.
Right.
And it just dropped in that, oh, no, this needs to be in your spell. And so we actually started looking it up, and that is for fertility.
Right.
That one of the properties is fertility. But neither of us knew that.
Right.
And the big thing was, I didn't know that.
Right.
But I'm like, no, I don't cook with it. That's not even an herb that, it's not even in my cabinet.
Right.
But I'm like, coriander. I'm like, wait, what is that? What does it look like? And so, then I'm looking it up. And I'm like, oh, it looks like cilantro. But, I think that is the difference, where you want to see the magical properties in what you're doing. Whereas I'm going, okay, no. You want this type of spell where you're going to need cinnamon and, we need to throw some black pepper in there and, what have you.
So I think the really cool thing about it, though, is you do work purely on intuition. It's like it just drops in. So your brain or spiritual gift, how it all works together for you, to me, as an outsider looking in, it looks like your brain goes, I want, let's just say a money spell.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's like your intuition fires up. Okay, people, we're doing a money spell. What do we need? And shit just starts dropping in on you.
Yeah.
And then you're like just rolling with it, and I'm over here like, wait, I got to, let me double check. Wait, let me look at this. Let me double check this.
Right. And that's kind of like where, you're wanting, oh, well, we're doing a money spell. We need a green candle. And I'm over here, nah, just grab any candle you got. It's good.
Right.
And I think that's where we've discussed, I think of the little old witch in the woods that people go to see. And, she didn't have all of the stuff available. So it was pulling from the shelf what she had and working with what she had. And I don't think that people need to go broke.
Exactly.
Getting all the stuff to do a spell. And things don't have to be perfect, because I think when you look back at a lot of the spell work we've done, it's been spur of the moment.
Oh, yeah. Some of our absolute best spell work has been completely spur of the moment, and okay, what's dropping in for you intuitively, but also what resources do we have on hand in this moment.
Right.
So, and I think that's one of the things that we can completely agree on, and that I hope magical listeners can take a note from, of don't stop the spell work.
Right.
If you are in the flow, right? If it's hit you, you need to do this, you want to do this, and you're getting the drop-ins and you have this stuff on hand. Like, even if something comes in, you don't have it on hand. Okay, what's close that you do have on hand? But don't put off doing that ritual, doing that spell work a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, until you get paid, or you can go find the stuff or get all the supplies put together. Now, I think the only caveat to that would be if your intention is to do a certain ritual at a certain time.
Right. If you have the intention that on the full moon, I'm going to do blah, blah, blah spell, and I want it to be for, have everything lined out, do it that night.
Right.
But if you're in an emergency situation, which we have done spell works, the one that we did was, one of the ones we did, the big one we've done was an emergency situation. Yep. It felt like a life or death situation. And so we went with what we had. We went, we weren't looking at magical days, the moon phases, and, we were kind of ignoring a lot of the so-called rules.
Right.
Which I think is a big difference between, well, not a big difference, but I think you're more likely to follow a set of rules, structure than I am.
Right.
I am very loosey-goosey with the rules.
But I feel like that's where we differ, but yet we can challenge each other to expand and
I think we complement.
Yes, definitely. So, like, I think you've helped me kind of step out of a little bit of a witch box I had placed on myself of, timing and ingredients and colors and all that stuff, where it's like, you know what? Nope, this is what I have. This is what I need. This is what's coming together. Let's do it.
It's kind of like talking with my daughter the other day. She's wanting to get started. She's wanting to learn. And she goes, she's telling me that there's so much stuff. There's cards, there's, spell work, there's scrying, all of these different, meditating. And she said, I want to know where to start. And I said, well, why can't you do all of them?
Right.
And she had placed a restriction on herself that I can only learn one thing at a time.
Right.
And I think people in general, not just witches, but, people in general, they need to let go of the box, let go of the preconceived notions, the self-limitations and rules.
Right.
Take them off. You have no binders. You've got, limitless resources at your hands. Nature's all around you. Everything's provided for you.
Right.
If you don't have a candle, you don't need one. You got a lighter, you got a match. Magic is your intention.
Absolutely. And I think that's the big thing. And that goes back to so many people forget the nature that is right at hand that still carries magical properties. If you've got a tree in your backyard and you need something, look up the properties of that tree. Because I guarantee there's probably something you can work with there. Whether you go pull a leaf, and strip it, there's options. There's options.
Always options. It's like the post. Okay, so I know you guys know that we're thewitchsource.com and we're also on Facebook. And you had posted one day about it was the mother saying to the daughter that I can't get you out of a relationship until you're ready to leave.
Right, yeah.
And I had made the comment on there that so many people need to be open to the possibilities. You're never stuck.
Right.
And that's what frustrates me, is so many times people get stuck in their box. They're stuck in their one mindset that they cannot see the options.
Right.
And, and someone had made the comment that, well, sometimes there just aren't options. You know what? I'm sorry. Right. But there are always options. It just might be really uncomfortable. And by uncomfortable, I'm saying, I think that post, it kind of referred to, being a battered woman and leaving a relationship. And no, I was reading in another group how this one woman was running away from an abusive relationship, and she left out on foot. And she had gotten down to the end of her driveway, and there was this big dog. And it scared her, and she turned around and ran back. Oh. And she was asking, was that a sign?
Oh.
Am I supposed to stay? No, honey. You don't stay in the relationship if it's that bad. Right. You leave. You get out.
Right.
Leave that situation. You might have to live in your car. You might have to go live in a shelter. You may be homeless. But is momentary discomfort worth whatever it is you're trying to leave, or that's making you think about leaving?
Well, and I think, okay, so coming back first full circle with the magic, I think part of doing the magic is staying open.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're saying, to those possibilities, because we don't always know. That's the thing about magic. Like you've created the cause, and now you're waiting on the effect, which is the results, right? But you don't know the route that the magic is going to take for the results to come to fruition. So it might just be, it might suck living in your car, but that might be a temporary solution that gets you to the ultimate outcome and the results of your spell work. So you have to be willing to open up and see all options, even the ones that you think aren't the best options.
Right.
And be willing to step into those, because if you've done the magic, if you are experienced with magic, if you've been keeping record, if you know your magic produces results, then the ultimate outcome is going to be good, right? Even if the transition into that good is uncomfortable or scary, requires you to build up some courage to take that first step.
I think it's funny that you mention, keeping a record and knowing that you're mad, because that's another thing. You do that.
I do.
I don't.
Oh.
And there's so many times where either you or my mom, our mom, or somebody says, "Oh, you remember you did that spell?" And look, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
Oh my gosh, that would drive me crazy.
No, there's so many things I forget about. It's like, we went and got a reading, and I was going through the divorce, and Mom and I had gone and gotten this reading, and she said, "Oh, I was going to meet the perfect person, and it was going to be within so many months." And we were going to wind up getting married. And, I'm going about living my life, in my little bubble that I was in at that time.
Right.
Well, then I met my husband now. And Mom, goes back, "Oh, you remember that reading?" She said it was going to be, like 7 months. She's like, 7 months? He's the one. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And here, we've been married 12 years. So no, I don't, a lot of times I don't remember the readings. I don't remember the spell work, unless it's something that was major. That's worked. But, you know, I
had
put
several of those, actually.
Oh, yeah. I put it out there and then I forget about it.
And that works for you.
And that does work for me.
So, I mean, you know, as we go through some of the stuff that we talk about, and if you're going to be joining the school in the future, you know, we present concepts, ideas, possibilities, things you can try out. But everything is always given with the intention of keep what works for you, throw out what doesn't.
Right.
Because you don't want to dampen your own natural intuition, your own natural gifts, because you're trying to play by somebody else's rules.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I think that's one thing, you know, I think a lot of witches, a lot of people, they get started in Wicca. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Wicca has, you know, Wicca has limitations to it. You know, the threefold law or what have you, karma, harm none. There are rules. And I'm not saying that those aren't bad things, but I'm saying depending on how you look at any given situation, there could be a negative in there.
Right.
So, you know, if you're going to sit there and you're going to deep dive stuff, you're probably going to wind up not doing anything.
Right.
Because, I really want this job. Well, who are you screwing out of a job to get that?
So you can talk yourself.
Oh, you can talk yourself out of anything.
So, and I think that's where it goes back to also like how you do the magic. So you don't keep a record.
No.
But you still have confidence in your magic.
Oh, definitely. And to the point where I have started being conscious about what I just spew out there. Oh, it'd be neat to work, blah, blah, blah. It'd be neat to live so and so. I've had to actually stop myself from doing those because I find, you know, in a few years, oh, I am living there. Oh, I am working here. I am. And I really like my house. I really like my job. So I am not looking to leave either of those at this moment.
Watch your words.
Well, definitely watch my words. Watch what I think, because a lot of it is just spoken. It's spoken or unspoken. Wishing.
Right. Wishing. Oh, wishing magic that's some cool magic.
Right.
Cool magic.
You know, at one point I'm like, oh, I think it'd be really neat to live in an apartment, not have to take care of the grass, not, you know, no worries. Well, then I lived in an apartment. I'm like, oh, really, I just really want to own a house. I just really want to own a house. I'm tired of renting. It's not getting me anywhere. And I went and I bought a HUD home for $11,000. And, you know, it was not the greatest home, but it was a little fixer-upper, but I didn't know anybody any money. I paid cash.
Right.
So, I mean,
And that was your stepping stone to the next wish.
No, yeah.
So, your wishing magic.
My wishing magic is quite potent.
Okay, so let's just dive into some wish magic because I feel like my wish magic works as well. Like if I just randomly make a wish, next thing I know it happens. And it's like, okay, why is wishing magic so potent?
I think it's the intention. It's and I think a lot of people perform magic and don't realize it. You know, a lot of companies tell you to have a dream board.
Yeah.
And how many times, you know, just creating that dream board is creating the intention, which gets you, you know, you may forget about it, but you go back and you look at your dream board, you know, a year or two later and, oh, look what I've accomplished.
Check.
Check it off.
And I think you brought up a good point, which was the point I was wanting to make of you forget about it.
You forget about it,
which means you completely let go.
Yeah.
And you have no expectations. You're not holding on, waiting for results. You're not trying to figure out if and when or how it's going to happen. You have wished it and completely let go.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so powerful. And going back to what you think and what you say, you know, that's why it's also just how easily sometimes wishing magic can work. Because, I mean, literally, let's see, Thursday night, I was thinking, gosh, some grilled salmon and a sweet potato would be really good for dinner. Okay, well, I didn't get it for dinner that night, but my boyfriend went to the grocery store, had no freaking clue what he was getting, and he brought me home salmon and sweet potatoes.
See?
Right? And it was just like, oh, that'd be really good. Like it was put out there and I completely let it go.
Right.
I moved on and I got me something else for dinner that, was easier to get a hold of. But then there it was. So that's what I had for dinner last night because that's what he brought home for me to have. So,
well, then he's a good boyfriend.
Oh yeah, he is. He's really great. But I mean, literally from the smallest, simplest thought of a wish.
Oh yeah.
To even the big things. If you can just wish it and let it go.
I was wanting to travel all the time and, go all these neat different places. So I got my kids involved in Scouts and I wound up becoming a leader, and I'm like, I want to go all these different places.
Right.
So I started planning the trips, and we started going, and I didn't have to, front huge buttloads of money.
Right.
To be able to go on these trips.
You don't have to make huge investments.
Right.
You invested your time and your energy into
right.
the Scouts, and your kids having a good time and, learning what they learned, but you also got your wish granted.
Yeah, and I can definitely tell you, don't take 10-year-olds on the haunted tour down in Savannah.
Oh gosh.
The haunted trolley ride.
They're probably traumatized.
Oh, and I mean, my daughter was, and she was like, oh, this is amazing.
Well, of course she wasn't, because she's around us all the time. Going to a cemetery is like an everyday experience for us.
But it was Girl Scout themed, and it said that it was age appropriate. And so the other leaders that were with me, we go into this one building, and, we sit down on these, crates. And all of a sudden the lights go out and there's this huge clap of thunder. And I was tired. I mean, we had been walking around all day. So I went to the farthest crate that was up against a wall where I could lean back. And, they're sitting, a couple crates over. And I'm just sitting there. All of a sudden the lights go out, thunder claps, and I hear girls screaming. I may have shouted out an obscenity because I was not expecting it. And I'm over here. I'm not even dealing with those over there. There are adults over there that can deal with that. So we leave, and I'm told the only thing that saved your butt was the fact that we looked over, saw your face, and saw that you weren't expecting that. I'm like, no, I wasn't. I'm so sorry. But all the girls were so excited to go until that portion. But Savannah is a great place to go. Very, very witchy, very magical. I highly recommend it.
Okay, we need a girls' trip there.
Yes, and you can drink on the streets.
Oh, that's fun.
We stayed, so on the way back from Florida.
I think we should just make our own witchy brews and just walk around with them in our...
No, we stayed at the Cottonsail Inn on our way back from Florida, last year. So we stayed at the Cottonsail Inn, which is like 2 blocks from a Wet Willie's. So you just walk your 2 blocks over, and it's right there on the riverfront. So you walk over to Wet Willie's, and you can open carry.
Oh, wow.
In Savannah. So anywhere in Savannah, you just carry your drink and walk around outside.
Nice.
So, I mean, you're 3 sheets to the wind, and woo, life is great. And there is a bar downstairs to get you started for your walk over there. I don't recommend.
Go ahead.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you get to just walk down the street, at least you're not worrying about driving.
This is true.
Or trying to hail a taxi and getting ran over.
This is true. And we were down there. It was during, the pandemic episode. So, they didn't have the street music that they normally have going on. But normally there's a lot of stuff going on riverfront.
That's fun.
But, have you told them where we're going in October?
I have not shared that yet.
You should share.
Okay, so we are taking a magical trip come October to Salem, Massachusetts. So that's going to be our first girls' trip.
Yes.
And we're super excited about it.
Yes.
Especially the drive up there. We should totally record a podcast episode.
We could record a 12-hour podcast episode on the way up there.
You guys can ride along in the car with us.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
Oh, and we should do video at that point in time.
Oh, we so could.
Yes, we
Live
could.
from the van.
Oh, we should name the van for that trip.
Yes. We'll come up with something.
We will definitely come up with something. I'm not coming up with anything off the top of my head. But yeah, no. So, and it'd be nice, to be able to go live on Facebook and you can see our lovely faces as we walk around and tour Salem.
Yeah. You guys can walk around with us and we'll video some stuff. You guys can feel like you're right there with us.
It'll be...
Oh, you know what would be cool? If we could get a reader. We could find a place to get readings done and see if they'll let us do a live.
Oh, yeah,
We're getting a reading.
Oh, and then you read her back. Read her back. Bring your own cards. All right, it'd be like,
make trade.
Slap your cards on the table. Be like, your turn. What's been going on in your life?
Oh, that would be fun. A reader exchange. Oh, we should totally do a reader exchange event. All readers welcome. And you just make trade of readings. Nobody charges anything. Nobody pays anything. Everybody just exchanges readings.
You always hear how hard it is for people to read themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, I think there's people out there that want some good practice, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got to write that down. We need to do that. A reader
and we've
exchange.
recorded it.
We have recorded it. Because we do go get readings from other people as well.
We tend to read ourselves a lot.
We do read ourselves a lot and each other.
I don't read anymore. I quit reading.
I know. I have to beg you to give me a reading from time to time. Shame.
It was pretty good, though.
Shame.
I've done some good ones the past few days.
You have done good ones. You have. I mean, for years, for me, I feel like you've done good readings.
But I pull the cards and then I talk to you.
Right.
And, I think the cards pull up topics to talk about.
Okay, that reminds me. Do you remember that reading we did with the dream? I think it was dream oracle cards. And we literally hit every single card a card ahead.
Oh, yeah, we would talk about it
We were talking about everything. And then the next card, it was like, okay, we just talked about that. And then we'd randomly start talking about something else. And then the next card, oh, well, we just talked about that. And like we were always a card ahead with all the stuff that was coming up. That was crazy.
Did I read you or did you read me?
I was reading you.
You were reading me.
I think I was reading you.
I don't remember.
Oh, man.
See, this
is why we write it down.
No, but I think that goes back to the how we do things different.
Yeah.
How many times, you call me with a problem and I'm, okay, what's going on? I don't need to pull the cards.
Right.
Talk to me.
We troubleshoot. Well, we do that a lot with each other anyway.
Right.
And then if we find areas where like, hey, bless you.
Not Corona.
So then if we find areas where it's like, hey, okay, so this, we just dove deeper and we found this issue, let's fix it, heal it, shift it. We've done that, with each other too. Like, okay, we just identified this. Instead of putting it off, let's clear it right now.
Right.
It's nice. This is why if you have witchy family, that's great. But having witchy friends is really good.
And that's one of the reasons behind starting the Witch Source was having that witchy resource of, hey, I've got this problem. And, I know there's a fee for the readings. There's a fee for the magic. But life isn't free.
Right.
And, there are some witches that will sit there and say, no, you shouldn't charge for your services. Well, I'm sorry, but how are you supposed to make a living if you've made it your life's goal to help and better other people?
Right.
You can't go off of either donation basis or, just... You've got to be able... Look at the church. Look at the churches. They pay their pastors.
Yes, they do.
And some churches are, no, we want you solely dedicated to us. So we don't want you having outside jobs. So we're going to pay you your salary.
Yeah. Oh, that's a very good point. And those pastors, they're not just on Sundays, they're taking phone calls all week long from people in the congregation that need help and, have questions, need prayer. They go to funerals and wedding services, and they do hospital visits.
Oh, yeah.
And so they do a lot, but yeah, they do get paid. And I also think about it too, like if you really want to get into it, there is cost. There's cost of materials.
Right.
There's a cost of time. There's a cost of energy.
There's a cost of your pedicure. I'm only saying that because we were getting pedicures Friday night.
Yes.
And you were on your phone the whole time. I was like, oh,
I know.
we're supposed to be talking.
What are you doing? I'm like, sorry, I'm spellcrafting. Because I literally feel like I spellcraft all the time. But I do love it, and I love helping people.
Right. And you've loved helping people for years.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the book that you made for was it the mentoring or self-help? Both.
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 Yeah, I did. I wrote that little ebook, which I might revamp.
I think you could revamp and put it out on Amazon.
And relaunch. But it was like 7 steps to getting your magical life back on track. It takes time and dedication.
Have you followed those steps?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I haven't read your book.
No.
You never gave it to me. I didn't know you wrote the book. I was talking about the other self-help book.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
The one that you had Granny editing.
That was it.
Oh, was that one it?
Yeah, that was it.
I find that hilarious.
So non-magical.
Yeah, she's Methodist.
Hey, you know what? I think she learns a lot.
We're
magically
horrible.
helping, and she has no idea.
Right? It's one of those. Is that okay, or are you going to hell? I kid,
wow.
but am I really?
Am I joking or am I serious? I'll never tell.
It would be so. I don't know if you guys know this either, but we are in the works talks of trying to get a shop together as well.
Oh, yeah. No, I hadn't shared any of that.
No, I'm just going to spill all your beans.
You are spilling all the beans. I'm going to slip on them.
I slipped on my beans. If you guys haven't, I'm going to put a plug. We're plugging in here.
But we are not paid for this.
We are not paid for this. Go watch Bluey. It's on Disney Plus. Bluey.
Yeah.
The Granny's episode specific. Or the Taxi episode. Oh my God. Just watch them all.
Okay. So, we have children. I have a toddler.
My youngest is 10.
Right. But
we all watch Bluey.
It's so funny though. Okay. Because I know you guys hear me say all the time on the lives, I don't watch TV, and I don't watch a lot of TV. Now, my child, on the other hand, loves Bluey, and I will watch Bluey because it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's hilarious.
The episodes are only 7 minutes long.
Yeah, and they're only 7 minutes long.
So sometimes you're walking through and you get caught up in an episode, but you've only wasted 7 minutes of your day, and that's okay.
And I don't even feel like it's wasted because you do get some good laughs. And laugh medicine is the best medicine.
And they have Bluey Facebook pages, and it's amazing because I've seen so many people post that just by having it play in the background, they feel like they become better parents.
Oh, yeah.
Because of it's a constant play with the kids.
Right.
And you know that it's not like that all the time.
Right.
You can't have 24/7 play with your kids. There are going to be serious times, but the majority of the times, if you can joke around and play. And I feel like now I have 2 sets of kids. I have my older set, which are now grown and out of the house. And I'm a grandma too. So,
we got a granny in the house.
Yeah, I'm a granny. But so then my younger set, I feel I had those later in life. I was more prepared. I was a lot more calm and patient.
Right.
So I was able to play with them more and not, I was a stay-at-home mom with them.
Right.
So the play was easier. But no, playing and having fun.
Okay, so playing, that brings up a whole thing that I've been meaning to talk to you about anyway, so I guess we'll just share it with the world.
Oh, playing.
Okay, so I always talk about on the lives too the importance of getting balanced.
Yes.
Right? And like having all the different areas and aspects and balance. You got your mind, body, soul, emotions, spirit. You've got your spiritual life. You've got your work life. You've got your relationships, finances, like all the real stuff too, and getting everything in a good balance. Okay.
Right.
Well, we went Friday. I had to get my oil changed. And we went and got the pedicures. And then there were some more things we wanted to do. And remember, I had that panicky dread feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I did some deep dive work on that.
Okay.
Okay, so we kept it at surface level. So I had some, I realized I had some unhealed trauma from my past marriage.
Right.
And, you know, I've done a lot of work around that.
Right.
But it was surprising to me that, you know, I guess it should be, it was surprising. It shouldn't be surprising because there's layers of this stuff and it comes up over time as you make room for it. But.
Well, you're talking, how long were you married before?
11 years.
11 years. That's 11 years of programming.
Right.
That's 11 years of, and it didn't happen overnight. Her ex-husband was, I'm going to say, extremely narcissistic.
Yeah.
Very isolating with her.
Yeah.
Very controlling in a way that you don't realize that you're being controlled.
Exactly.
So, my
deep mind fuckery that you do not realize is going on.
Okay, we're swearing in this. Okay,
oh yeah. I always mark them as explicit.
Oh, excellent. Okay, yeah. So my first husband was the same way, and I was with him for 6 years, 7 years, somewhere around in there. But yeah, I think I was better coming out of my, and I told you that, I think I was better coming out of my relationship because I realized the mind fucking that was happening.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm done.
Right.
You're going to get on my boat. And that was one of, because I'd left him a few times, but I always took him back because, you know, I'm kids.
Right.
You know, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That. The shoulds. But then there's the whole, you know, the last time I took him back and I said, look, I love you, but I don't need you in my life. I don't need you. I am choosing to place you here. And if you're not going to get on board, we're done.
Right.
I'm done. I'm done with this entire thing. So,
I think that was the biggest difference where you recognized the mind fuckery and
right.
I did not until I was out of it.
Well, and that was one of the things, you know, we had talked about how I became the bad person in your whole breakup because
not really to outsiders.
To outsiders
it did appear that way.
Because okay guys, we're going to lay this shit out here.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, we're going to lay this shit out here.
I wanted to get to the whole play topic though, but okay.
All right. You can get to the okay. But no, okay. Her relationship, it was over. It was done. She comes to my house one night and she's like, you know, freaking out over some shit that had happened.
The universe completely pushed me.
The universe slapped her in her face and then ass fucked her and said,
"Stop! Oh my God!"
Oh no, I'm saying you totally did. You should have seen yourself that night.
I know it was bad, but here's the takeaway.
But
from
you
this.
hid it from everyone.
Yes, I did hide it. I hid everything that was going on, which I don't recommend.
No.
And the universe and my intuition had been telling me to leave, and I would not. That's when, if you guys watch the live card readings, you'll see when I refer to the breakdown, where if you don't listen to the universe and you don't follow the nudges, your shit will break down. The universe is going to break it down and move you where you need to be. And that's exactly what happened to me in a very dramatic way. And that's when I came to you.
Right.
And things started to shift and change. But to outsiders, it was like, you stepped in and broke us up and you're the bad guy and you did all, and it wasn't you at all, you know, but people,
they weren't around. They didn't see what was going on. Right. And you didn't let on what was going on.
I think partially for self-preservation and
Right.
partially just unaware to the extent of
how far gone you were.
Yeah. Just unaware, which is why I've worked so hard to get where I'm at now. And that's why I am so passionate about helping people.
Right.
And especially on a magical level, because it was at a magical level that everything started to shift and change truly for me.
Right.
Because a lot of the stuff I knew about and have been practicing here and there, but it wasn't until we started to pull in more of the magical, and then I started doing the deep dive into the magical healing,
Right.
that a lot of stuff started to finally break up and shift and change and heal. So
what she's saying is, when she gives recommendations and the things that she's saying, it's tried and true.
Oh, absolutely.
We have both experienced, trauma. I don't think anyone can go through life without experiencing some type
level
of trauma.
Yeah.
The thing is, what do you do with that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you sit and wallow and stay in it? Or do you grow, overcome, and become a better person, learn from the experience and move on?
Right. And I think that's where magic can really help.
Oh, definitely.
So
Back to the play.
So we had the pedicure, and then I got that we wanted to go do more stuff, and I got that feeling of dread.
If you didn't go home, you were going to be in trouble.
Right. Okay. A number of things I want to state here first and foremost. One, my boyfriend has never in any way, shape, or form ever given me a reason to feel like that. And I know that. Like, he doesn't rush me. If I'm out, he doesn't blow up my phone. He doesn't ask me where I'm at, who I'm with, when I'm coming home. When I come home, he's always loving. Did you have fun? So I just want to state up front, like in my current relationship, he has never given me a reason to feel that way, but I was still feeling it. So just like I tell everybody when I am working with them, doing healing sessions, and sometimes with the private one-on-ones if it comes up, when you feel something, it's there to tell you you need to heal it. So like I was having not just the emotional, mental dread and fear of I'm going to be in trouble. I was physically in my body reacting.
Right.
It was a physical reaction within my body of that sinking, I'm going to be sick. Like,
How long have you been out of that relationship?
Oh gosh.
2 years? 3 years?
3.5.
Okay.
So 3.5. But, there was a whole year and a half of divorce process there too. So I guess 2 years.
Right. Well, that's where I've told you that I've been married to my current husband. We're going on 12 years this October that I've been married to my current husband, who likewise has never, he is, if you want to look at a perfect relationship, that's me and my husband. He doesn't text me when I'm out. I could stay out all night, come back the next morning, and he'd be like, did you have fun?
Right.
Where'd you stay? And it would just be like, so what'd you do? A conversation,
right.
Never accusing.
Right. No interrogation, no accusing,
right.
No.
Who are you trying to dress up for?
Right.
Any of that?
Right.
No. No, he actually, like when I'm going out for girls' night, he will actually look at me and go, you're going out dressed like that? Aren't you at least going to put some makeup on? A little something, do your hair? I'm like, oh, excuse me. Okay. I'm sorry. But, no, 12 years in this wicked, awesome relationship with a very kind and loving man. And there are times,
it still comes up for you.
It still comes up for me. I need to go home or I'm going to be in trouble. Right. I'm like, I don't know where, it's just, it's in there. Or that going out and buying stuff and, oh my gosh, my husband's going to be so upset I spent too much money.
Oh, right. That aspect too.
Oh, and I have my own bank account. I have my own money.
Right, but you still have that fear.
I still have that fear.
Crazy.
Oh, he's gonna get upset with me because I spent $25.
We should totally heal it and shift it if it's still there.
It's been a long time since this happened, but I'm just saying, like,
example.
Just everyone. And then I look at it and I go, well, that's complete bullshit.
Okay, so yes, and that's where I was like, this is bullshit. This feeling I'm having is bullshit because I have no justified reason for it.
Right.
But like I tell everybody, sit with it, ask it why it's here.
Right.
Okay. So I had talked in the moment, we were together, and I talked myself down like, okay, I know this is here. I know this is some unhealed trauma. I have no reason to feel this way. You know, obviously that's something I need to heal and shift, but I was able to calm myself,
right,
identify that there was something that needed to be worked on, and then, you know, I felt better. And that's kind of where we left off. Okay, so go forward to that night, because I don't put it off a week to dissect it. Like, hell no. I got home that night, took care of my baby girl, got her in the bed, and then I'm like, okay, it's time. I got work to do. So I took the deep dive. So I'm going to give you guys an example of a deep dive into your healing. Okay. So issue, feelings that came up, the dread, the fear, I'm going to get in trouble for not being home. Okay. Surface level, unhealed trauma from my prior relationship. That is the surface level diagnosis. Okay. It goes so much deeper.
Oh, yeah.
So I started with that. Okay. And I was like, is there some unhealed stuff here with him? Possibly. So I focused in on the feelings and I just started letting go of that piece. And then I was like, okay, here's the deep dive. Why did I feel like I was going to be in trouble? Why? And when I sat with myself, and I had my journal out, and when I sat with myself, the answer that came up for me was, I'm shunning my responsibilities.
Oh,
it wasn't that he was going to be mad at me, because on a deep level, I know that's not true with him.
Right.
So I know he wasn't going to do, and he wasn't. Guys, I got home, the baby was fed, laundry was done, bottles were washed, kitchen was clean, and baby was in her jammies and, you know, had a bottle, literally ready for bed. Okay. He was not mad. Baby girl comes running to me, gives me a great big old hug. He comes over, hugs me, gives me a kiss. Did you have fun? Okay. So I want you to understand, no justification for how I was feeling as far as where he's concerned. I also knew on a soul level he would not be mad at me, and he was not. Look at everything he did.
But the shunning your responsibilities, that totally makes sense, because we as women are responsible. I don't care if they say it's the modern day and age and more men are doing.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Wait a minute. We have got to go back and read Friday's card reading that I did for the weekend. Because I swear I just talked about this. Like women's responsibilities, all that. When you said women's responsibilities, it triggered in my brain like I just said those words.
No.
Friday morning for the weekend reading. So this is like full circle. Like, guys, please go listen to Friday's episode, because I literally read the cards for the weekend energy and here I am right in it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. But I'm just going to throw out there that we as women, we take on way too much responsibility, but it's all our own fault.
Yes.
Because how many times, you know, your husband doesn't put the kids down the same way that you put the kids down.
Right.
And that kind of irritates you a little bit. You know that your husband's or your kids or whoever doesn't clean the kitchen the way you want it clean.
They don't load the dishwasher the way you load it. You know, they don't fold the laundry the way you fold it.
So you just, women, we say to ourselves that, well, it's just easier if I do it.
Right.
You are putting yourself in a box that you don't need to. That's a whole nother box that women put themselves in.
So when I sat with it, that's what I realized. The fear of being in trouble was I felt like I was shunning my responsibilities and pushing them off on him. Not that he was going to be mad, because I knew I knew everything my body knows he wasn't going to be mad at me. That was my own fear being projected, but what it really was me feeling like I was shunning my own responsibilities. So then I had to sit with that. Okay, why do you feel like you're shunning your responsibilities? Well, I'm not home. I'm normally home. I'm not taking care of my child. I know I have laundry to do. I know I have a house to clean. I didn't feed my child. I didn't wash the bottles sitting in the sink. So I was piling all this up. And then when I was thinking about, okay, well, why do you feel like you're shouldering your responsibilities? And it's like, okay, all that's my responsibilities. And then I had the drop in, because remember, you do all of this work from that grounded, connected, centered place. So you get these drop ins. That's when I had the drop in of, it's not your responsibility.
It's not. And you know what? I'm just going to throw this out there. Even if you don't get the laundry done, it's still going to be there tomorrow.
Right. Right. But the full drop-in was, it's not my responsibility. No. It is our responsibility, because we are a team. We are a unit. It is our child, not my child.
Right.
It is our home, not my home. It is our laundry, not my laundry. Right? So again, I always say, you guys, the magic is in shifting the perceptions.
Perceptions is
and
huge.
That perception just got shifted.
Right.
That's the fucking magic. That's the fucking healing in real time. So literally, I had that drop in, and it was like, okay. And you know what? The universe had already proven that to me by the fact that I got home and all that shit was done.
And you know what? Talking about play,
there's more.
To have fun.
Okay, so there's more.
Yeah.
So I got through the shift of, this is not my responsibility, this is our responsibility. Then it went into, okay, why did you feel like you had to take full responsibility for everything? Right? So you don't stop there, right?
Right.
Big revelations, some shifts, some changes, feeling good, healing shit, keep going.
Right.
So why did I feel like I had to take full responsibility for all this and not share the responsibility?
Right.
And again, it came back to, I didn't feel worthy and deserving nor value my time enough to allow myself playtime to myself.
Nay.
Yeah, that was the deep-seated root, the root that needed to be pulled out for the full healing to take place. This was what it came back down to. I don't deserve playtime because I have shit to do. That's what it ultimately came down to. So that's when it was like, wow, there's the unbalance.
Right.
Work, check. Parent, check. House responsibilities, check. Finances, check. Like, I do all this stuff. Where's the playtime? I even have the me time for healing. I have the me time for magic. I have the me time to cultivate my spirituality. So I have all those pieces. It's not that I don't allow myself me time. And I did have a full conversation with my boyfriend about every single bit of this, literally as it was unfolding. But I was like, and because even he said, well, you do take time to yourself. And I said, I do, but with intention.
Right.
It's always with the intention of, I'm doing healing work, I'm doing clearing work, I'm doing spell work, or I'm doing business work. Because to me, that's also spiritual.
Right.
Or, I'm doing the meditating and that daily spiritual time. So it's not that I don't allow myself me time. I allow myself me time for the things that I deem important.
But not the time for play.
But
that's really where you decompress. That's really where, that's so important. And I'm going to put, I want everybody to live by my duck butt philosophy. I totally want everyone to live by my duck butt philosophy, because when a duck dives underwater, the water just slides off his butt, and I just love duck butt. So no, you've got to let stress and work and everything. I work for a very large beverage company, And I'm an accountant, and I was told that, even if I can't get everything done, we are a no stress zone, because at the end of the day, we're still going to be selling our beverage tomorrow.
True.
So take that same philosophy into your own life. I didn't get my laundry done. Well, you know what? There's tomorrow.
Right.
I didn't bathe my kid tonight. You know what? Your kid didn't need a bath. Go let him play in the pool tomorrow. During the summertime, pools are baths. You've got to learn to decompress. You've got to pick your battles in life.
Right.
And just don't let nothing is that stressful. Nothing. I'm sorry.
Well, and I think, that's where when you take these deep dives, okay, so if in that moment of us riding in the car and I'm feeling this moment of dread and panic, never in a million years would I have instantly thought, you know what, I'm not allowing myself to have enough playtime.
Right. You never think about it in the moment.
I would have never got to that because, again, surface level was, oh, I'm reliving past trauma from my ex.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it didn't really have shit to do with him.
Right.
And that's where you have to go deeper and then deeper still.
Maybe my problem is I feel like I have too much fun. When I'm out and about, I better get home. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to have too much fun.
But, that's what I realized. And so, then we had this whole conversation around, Beb, I'm going to need some more time to just go out and play. And he was like, okay, well, what do you do for fun? I literally had no answer.
You come play with me.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like everything, I was like, I love magic. I do magic. That's what I do for fun, even as stupid as that sounds, because there was always intent and a purpose.
Right.
But I mean, I love to create, and I love to do readings, and I love to do healings, and I love to do...
We used to go shopping.
All of this. Oh, and okay, so that's the thing. I told him that. I was like, I used to love to go shopping. I said, but once I filled up that spiritual hole within me...
Yeah.
And I'm no longer going shopping to fill a void to try to make myself temporarily happy, I'm not even drawn to shopping anymore. I could care less.
But we still want to go to woo-woo shops, and we're drawn to traveling.
Okay, so woo-woo shops, yes. Traveling, yes. Of course, I want to go to all the witch stores that I can.
Right.
But beyond that, and again, that still goes back to, that is what I love.
Right.
That is what I love. But as far as like playtime for me, because he was like, I always go play golf. And then he was like, wait, do you get mad at me when I go play golf? And I was like, no, I don't get mad at you. Like,
yes,
that's your time.
Just a little.
Well, there was, and I did tell him this, there was for a hot minute a section where I was like, of time where I was like, why do you get to go and do all this shit and I don't? But again, I did that to myself.
Right.
He never said or did anything. And then once I kind of released, I guess, holding on to whatever around where that's at with him going and playing golf, I was just like, yeah, whatever, it's his time, it's whatever, it's cool. Because even he was like, well, you go to your spa day every other Friday. And I'm like, yes, I do. And I love it and I enjoy it and I appreciate it. But I still always go in with intention. Mm-hmm. With the intention of connecting, healing, what's my next step business-wise.
It's like a therapy session.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't consider therapy play.
Exactly. And that's what I was telling him. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, then what do you like to do for fun? And that's where I was like, well, I used to like shopping.
No, we like going and doing karaoke.
We do like going and doing karaoke.
But now we have our own karaoke machine, so we don't need the going out part.
That's true.
We should just go out on the back porch again and just jam out.
That's true. We totally need to do that.
Seeing how I live out in the middle of nowhere and nobody cares.
Right.
They can hear us caterwauling all night.
But yeah, so it was a revelation for me. It was very healing for me. And I'm giving myself permission to play and have fun and do, and not always... It's like that one part of myself that was unbalanced. I'm sure there's plenty more to discover because I think there always is, but I would be surprised if that dread, fear sensation ever comes back up for me, because I already know Like I've already shifted it. I'm
Right.
already aware. So I just don't see that trigger happening for me again.
Nice.
You know, and that's where the healing comes in. That's gone. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I don't have to play the victim anymore by blaming my ex-husband for traumatic situations that come up.
Right.
So now I can fully release him. Has nothing to do with him. Has everything to do with me. I'm not a victim to him, you know, and I'm good. I'm good.
Duck's butt.
Yep. We got to go do some more play.
I'm ready to play. I'm always ready to play. I probably play. No, I don't play too much. I play just enough.
Just enough. Yes, there you go. Affirm that.
I play just. Don't get me wrong. I do have. I work a full-time job. I am currently in school. I'm helping with this business. I am a den leader in the Cub Scouts. I'm a leader for the Girl Scouts.
You do a lot.
I do a lot.
And you balance and juggle it so beautifully.
But I am always down at any given moment to
go do something.
Go do something. You call me and I'm like, well, I mean, except for yesterday. I was busy yesterday, but I'm here today.
Yeah. No, me and baby girl went to the pool yesterday. And we had fun playing and splashing around. She was so good.
I was knee deep in accounting 307.
Well, and like even at the pool, right? So like I tried to be because I'd already healed this stuff Friday night, you know, after it came up. So I was very conscious of I am here right now with my child and I have this moment and this time with her to play. And just enjoy the time and space and hold gratitude and love and joy. And that's exactly what I did. And it was great. It really was. It was a good day.
And I think you need to be present in all of those moments because, you know, I was thinking back, I don't remember the last time my youngest son sat in my lap with me. To watch TV. I mean, one, he's gotten way too big, but I'm thinking back and I'm like, I don't remember the last time that happened. You never know when the lasts are going to be.
Right.
So just enjoy.
That last real good snuggle.
Yeah.
That last big hug and a kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that my younger set are very
lovey-dovey
and still very much he's still very much a mama's boy.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, we have wandered all over, which will be put in the description so you guys have a heads up of all the fun stuff that we covered today. Wish magic and play, and we did some examples of some deep diving healing.
Could almost call it the ADHD musings of a witch.
Yeah. Well, and we started off with the basics of put more play in your magic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Take the limits off. Take the, do what you need to do. Follow those instincts. Follow that gut. Follow that intuition. And me personally, I would say record what you did and write it down. So that way, if it works, you know what to do. If you need to do it again.
And if you have a sister that records everything and writes it down, have her do that for you.
But yeah, so see what happens, you guys. Get a little more playful with your magic, loosen up a little bit, have some more fun with it. Even when, it's real deal serious shit you're working spell work for, you can still just follow your intuition, follow your gut. You don't have to go spend $100 on supplies, especially if you're trying to do a money spell.
Right. Right. I'm trying to get money, but I have to spend money. No, you don't.
Okay, like literally a money spell can be as simple as you put a white tea light candle on top of a penny.
Right.
And set your intention that you are drawing more money to you.
Rub a penny.
Right.
Rub a penny.
Light that candle up, let it burn, stick that penny in your pocket, call it your good luck penny. Keep it with you. Keep calling in that money. Rub it every time you need some money.
And if you guys really like this podcast and the stuff that we've discussed, let us know. Leave a comment. we can give you more musings.
Yeah, it's been a lot of musings today. A lot of musings.
We do this all day while we work. We talk on the phone, and
this is kind of a snapshot into literally our daily lives.
You're really seeing our minds here, people. Let us know if we're crazy.
All right, you guys. So thank you for being here. Thanks for joining us. If you would subscribe to wherever you are listening to this podcast, we'd appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, if you'll leave us a review, wherever it is that you're listening to us on, that
we
would
can
really
be found
help us a lot.
on Facebook.
Yeah, so join us on Facebook, The Witch Source, and we also have a Facebook group, which you guys are welcome to join, and that's where you can really ask us your witchy questions or spell questions. If you have topics you want to hear about on the podcast, I do daily live readings, well, daily as in Monday through Friday, at 12:30. So I do a daily reading, and then I do live readings as requested, first come, first serve. So you guys can, I do try to get new people in first. Let me just add that little caveat in there. So you can come check us out there. Please subscribe on YouTube. That helps us out as well. And we got lots of good stuff going on thewitchsource.com.
We have lots of new things coming.
Yeah, lots of new things coming. Some stuff in the works we're getting really excited about. So be sure and check it out.
Bye, guys.
All right, you guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.